So last night I noticed there was an old back. There's the number plate. RX68. So the dinghies come into Dover, they get loaded onto a truck, they go back to France.
Don't trust the mainstream media, they'll make your teeth itch. Alex Belfield's voice of reason.
Hello, Chunky. What a week that was then when we found out that little Rachel Reeves, the boo-hooer, has got a £41 billion black hole. There are many black holes out there. Nicola McSturgeon in Achai the Nicky Newland has decided that she might like the furry cup, opposed to the man's sausage, which is wonderful. None of us suspected that. It's the biggest revelation since we found out that Scove takes his up trap too, and that Barry Manilow is light on his feet. On top of all of that, we found out that if we're British, we must have guilt, according to a new course at HMRC, which has since been banned, only because of the absolute shame that has been thrust upon another .gov monolith that lives back in the dark ages where they think they can get away with this COVID-style crap. Oh, by the way, tomorrow morning at 6 we'll be discussing why this government has now stopped 6 million pensioners getting pricked. We will find out what possible reasons XSS could that possibly be. But I want to focus today on my phone-in tonight, which will be with Andrew Bridgen live, where you can call him after 10. From 9 till 10, we'll be having a chat about all the things that's going on in the world. I believe Andrew Bridgen is the greatest politician I've ever met, the most honest, and the one who's paid the biggest price for doing absolutely nothing wrong other than telling the truth. He was the bastion of the truth during COVID. He has fortitude and stamina like I've never seen before, and has lost everything simply by not backing down and telling the truth, and has faced the wrath of .gov and the dark forces who have literally destroyed his entire life, or tried to. I want to play you this video this afternoon, which is really quite extraordinary. It is by Andrew and his team, who have been looking at the dinghies in Dover and noticing that they end up on the back of lorries and then disappear into the tunnel and go out the other side into France. Now, there's lots of people with big black holes and tunnels like Eurotunnel. I mean, Rachel Reeves got one for a start. This has been a very odd week, hasn't it, where we've seen Britain wake up and so many people taking to the streets with union flags and saying we are not ashamed to be British and we have no guilt. These days, if you buy white bread, you're accused of being racist. And of course, if you play the piano, you have to be very careful that you play the sharps and flats so you don't get accused of similar things. Anyway, that's not why you called. Oh, by the way, it's not gone unnoticed that the police are up to their old tricks again, popping round people's houses to give them advice on what they can and can't do if they turn up at one of the United Kingdom flag-waving events. At the same time, the police are knocking on shopkeepers' doors who call thieves scumbags and telling them to remove the sign that scumbags aren't welcome if they want to go pilfering and nicking from their shop. We have lost the plot. And even Twitter, Elon Musk's X, is now editing posts. When I write things that are slightly or mildly controversial about the PDF files like Hugh Edwards at your evil BBC, they now need you to sign in to prove that you're over 18, which is ridiculous, bearing in mind you can get on a dinghy and come into our country and stay here for years in a 4-star hotel without any ID. Yet if you want to see me rant and rave, have a blood test, take a finger up the bottom and send a semen sample to Nicola McSturgeon. Oh, by the way, if you like this type of tomfoolery, please subscribe so that you get all of my nonsense. Also, go to alexbelfield.com if you want 2 phone-ins a week on Wednesday and Sunday, and 6 days a week, the 30 to 40-minute breakfast news from 6 a.m, where I do 40 of the biggest stories. My autobiography is available now, and you can pre-order my first HMP book in the first of my 4 exposés of the broken and corrupt prison system. Get it before it's banned. If you take my drift, it is not going to be long before the civil serpents say, no, we're going to pay you not to release that either. Shushy, shushy. I don't know about you, but I remember the good old days where politicians had opinions and stuck by them and we knew what they thought, instead of these mealy-mouthed, marble-mouthed people who try and filibust and confuse us by baffling us with bullshit and keep talking the talk until we're just so confused and lost we all daze off into a coma. you remember this, where Margaret Thatcher set out her stall over 30 years ago, and how right she was and how profound she was as the prophet of the future of what would happen to our country?
Those who are genuine refugees, and that is determined again by the United Nations, will not be returned. Those who are illegal immigrants, will be returned. And it is customary international law for countries to receive their own immigrants back into their country. And if the right honourable gentleman is suggesting that we ever get to a position when you cannot return illegal immigrants to their country of origin, then he is proposing international chaos.
So let me play you a short excerpt of what Andrew Bridgen has put on his social media. A man follows the dinghy from the port onto a truck, into the tunnel and out the other side. Why are we sending them back to be refilled to bring more dinghy divers to fill up the 3 new hotels in Bournemouth? And may I ask the question, Keir Starmer? Yes, Keir Starmer. Why are 3 new hotels being turned into new barracks for the next set of army recruits who have come across, when you said that we were going to smash the gangs and no more would go into hotels, yet 3 more in one town, one coastal town, is about to be destroyed by them being bought up by you? We brought you news this week that €100,000 houses in Ireland are being sold for nearly 400,000 to councils who are buying them up for HMOs, not homos, HMOs, houses of multiple occupancy, to put the dinghy divers in. So they've now gone from 4-star hotels to having their own palace paid for by us at an exponential price that they would never get if it was sold on the actual real market. Instead, our councils are paying 4 times greater than we would for identical houses. This is a national scandal. I'll talk about all of this in the news tomorrow, by the way, at 6 a.m. The best of the news will be up tomorrow afternoon. I'll put that for you, the best of the week. We did nearly 4 hours of news last week. We were hitting about 40 minutes a morning at 6 o'clock. 6 a.m. I put my news on, where you can join us there for all of the top stories, 35 to 40 of the stories that you won't get anywhere else. We have no BS, we are not PC, and we're Ofcom free, and they hate that. That's why eventually they will end up banning me and paying me not to do it, like they have with my tour. Welcome to Free Speech Great Britain 2025. Right, I'll see you live tonight at 9 o'clock with Andrew Bridgen here in my back bedroom, well, actually my mother's kitchen, where we'll be doing the show live, and you can call in from 10 o'clock with the phone in. I can't wait. I'll see you then at alexbelfield.com. Ta-da, Lars.
So last night I noticed there was a whole batch. Yeah, hang on, I have to go back because there's someone coming. There was a whole batch of dinghies in the little area near the crane in the boatyard. Loads of them, all numbered. You'll have just seen that clip, hopefully. And I thought, okay, tomorrow the lorry's probably going to come. And guess what? There it is. There's the lorry. Alright, so I'm going to go wander over there and just see if it's the same truck. Alright, and today we're going to try and follow it. There it is. The lorry is leaving. But that is the lorry, basically, with all the dinghies on it. And if my idea is correct, that lorry is going to France. That's the lorry. Okay, so I'm going to prove it. Right, so that is getting on a ferry. Where to? That's the question, look. Okay, can you see the number plate? Ah, come on. RX68 YKA. Alright, that's it. Boom. Okay, I'm inside. I saw the lorry. It was just the other side of that fence. I'm now going to drive round. Now, what is it doing? Hiding there. There it is. There it is. RX68, there's a driver in it, so he's going to see me doing this. And I don't care. There's the number plate. RX68 YKA. This lorry is getting on a ferry. So the dinghies come into Dover, they get loaded onto a truck, they go back to France.
Guardian readers, ambivalacious types, and champagne sippers, switch off now. Alex Belfield's voice of reason.